Look at the manufacturing sector today, and you'll see a collision of two brutal realities. Populations in developed nations are aging out of the workforce, and factories simply cannot find enough people to fill the floor. To keep lines moving, operators are being forced to automate at an aggressive pace. This chart shows the global robotics market trajectory. Demand is driving the industry toward a $218 billion valuation by 2031. On the secondary axis, the average return on an industrial robot investment has dropped from 5 years to just 1.3 years today. When payback windows shrink that rapidly, facility managers lose the luxury of waiting. They have to commit massive amounts of capital to hardware right now, even while the underlying software and robotic standards are still being written. The pressure to maintain capacity creates a frantic buying environment. When buyers are rushed, they often invest in heavily marketed, unproven technologies, simply to ensure they aren't left behind. In 2026, social media is flooded with polished demonstrations of bipedal machines. Marketing suggests these robots are plug-and-play solutions for living rooms and assembly lines. For decades, major corporations treated these designs as prestige projects. Machines like Honda's Asimo were research-heavy brand ambassadors, intended for laboratories rather than commercial scale. Before a factory signs a multi-million-dollar fleet contract, or a consumer drops $20,000 for a home unit, we have to look past the edited footage. We need to know exactly what these machines can accomplish autonomously on a typical Tuesday afternoon. The decision ultimately comes down to a strict engineering trade-off. You must choose between a machine designed to do many things reasonably well or one built to do one specific thing flawlessly. To evaluate these platforms responsibly, the marketing campaigns must be ignored. The metrics that actually protect your capital are sub-millimeter precision capabilities and the true level of human intervention required to finish a task. The workhorses of modern manufacturing remain traditional 6-axis arms and autonomous mobile robots. These heavy, fixed systems have dictated factory floor layouts for over 60 years. This chart illustrates why they dominate. A bolted-down 6-axis arm can repeatedly hit a tolerance of 0.02 millimeters. Below it, the current humanoid capability is significantly wider, at 0.1 millimeters. That repeatable accuracy is exactly why collaborative models deliver a financial payback in an average of just 195 days. They perform cyclical tasks with almost zero deviation. The structural penalty for this reliability is total environmental rigidity. To deploy these systems, operators must redesign their facility, installing safety cages, adding precise fixturing, and completely predictable material feeds. If a single component is positioned 2 millimeters to the left, or if a sudden production change requires a different angle of approach, a traditional arm fails completely until an engineer reprograms the sequence. As long as your environment remains perfectly static, these engineered motion systems offer the highest cycle speeds and the tightest margin protection available. Industrial humanoids are engineered to solve that rigidity problem. By mimicking human proportions, a machine with bipedal legs and complex joints can walk upstairs and operate hand tools without forcing the facility to alter its existing infrastructure. However, their physical output tells a different story. If you place a humanoid on an active automotive final assembly line today, it cannot match the operational speeds established by dedicated stationary automation. The physics of the design work against them. When a robot has to constantly balance its own weight on 2 moving legs, achieving sub-millimeter repeatable assembly becomes structurally difficult. Because of this, early pilot programs aren't using them for high-precision manufacturing. Instead, these robots are being deployed specifically to automate unstructured manual labor roles, tasks traditionally performed by unionized workers. This direct targeting of human labor creates immediate friction. In South Korea and the US, major industrial unions have already identified these bipedal deployments as a threat to job security, promising to disrupt any implementation that isn't negotiated through collective bargaining. The calculation is clear. You gain the ability to deploy hardware without tearing up your concrete floor, but you sacrifice raw cycle speed while taking on complex labor relations. The push into the consumer market takes this environmental complexity to the extreme. Companies are now selling $20,000 machines designed to handle the entirely unstructured, unpredictable layout of a modern living room. To make this financially viable, manufacturers are introducing a robot as a service model. A $499 monthly subscription lowers the barrier to entry for affluent early adopters. When a robot encounters a new domestic task, a human operator takes control via a VR headset. This teleoperation captures every movement as data, feeding directly back into the central AI models to gradually improve the machine's future autonomy. Streaming live camera and sensor data from inside a private residence to remote third-party operators creates massive inherent privacy vulnerabilities. Consumers signing up for these models are paying a premium to act as beta testers, gathering the physical data required to make full autonomy possible. This decision tree maps investments to constraints. First, is your environment structured or an unpredictable human space? Second, do you need absolute speed or task flexibility? For fast cycles, stick with 6-axis arms. For variability in unstructured spaces, pilot humanoids for long-term versatility. Protecting your capital requires looking past the polished demos and aligning the physical architecture of the hardware directly to the strict realities of your floor. The guiding rule for hardware procurement in 2026 is simple. Do not buy a humanoid to do a cobot's job. The strategic value of a bipedal platform rests in its raw physical adaptability, the capacity to learn entirely new, unstructured tasks through software updates. The automation market will reward those who ignore the viral marketing. True leverage comes from investing strictly based on the cold, hard trade-off between maximum physical adaptability and guaranteed sub-millimeter precision.